exciting as Brood serves it away, and we're ready to go here for volleyball. And Schrader sends it just too far, and Colorado State picks up the first point of the contest. And got it to who you want to see in Fiona Schrader, like we highlighted. Only player so far in the ACC to have a triple-double, and then has multiple.
Yeah, she's got 3 in 5 games, including back-to-back games with at least 10 assists, digs, and kills. So again, very versatile, does it all. The left-handed hitter, but Palazzolo can do it too.
Sydney Palazzolo, the pickup last year from the transfer portal, comes in for her senior year and makes quick work in their home opener to get the kill.
Yeah, you see with Schrader as the left-handed hitter and Palazzolo as the right-hander on different sides of the court, really gives Notre Dame 2 very unique and effective options on both sides.
Jones is able to work it through the block and pick up the point for Colorado State. And Malia Jones had a little bit of a lighter load last night, and it's 14 kills. And you might say, Jake, that's a lot of kills, but for what production she is able to perform at, 14 is a little bit more of a backseat driver for her, as Notre Dame's able to dip it over and dunk it in and get it back tied to 2. But for Jones, coming off a really big year in 2023, was an ABCA All-District honoree, first team Mountain West All-Conference honoree, and really has continued where she led off last year with this program. A little bit of an errant pass sends Notre Dame out of system. Dockery chases it down, and Notre Dame gets it over with their libero, Hattie Monson. And a sharp kill on the far side for the Rams and Stanford.
Yeah, Kennedy Stanford, part of this very experienced Colorado State team, and they got a free ball and set it up perfectly, and Stanford delivered it right in the middle of the court.
Jones with the serve. And quickly sending it down is Anna Bjork, the freshman middle blocker who's getting involved in the action early.
Yeah, Anna Bjork in there getting a chance to play because Ava Lang still a little banged up. Not sure what her timeline is, but she's in there today. Bjork is. She's been in there most of the season, and she gets her first kill of the night.
And it's set down quickly by the star-studded freshman, Morgan Gardy.
Morgan Gardy, Anna Bjork, 2 members of the #2 recruiting class in the nation. Coach Selima Rockwell did an unbelievable job with recruiting, and you're already seeing it pay dividends in this first game, this first set.
And Notre Dame gets themselves an ace with Sydney Palazzolo at the service line. While she is a 6-rotation outside hitter playing everywhere, don't count her out from the service line as well, as she has been one of the consistent contributors on the service line for Notre Dame. Kind of back over to Colorado State. Scarley with an attempt. Jones with the direct set over. Schrader sets the middle and gets the kill. It's a big one there for Notre Dame after turning it back over off the service error of Palazzolo. Continue putting the pressure on. Direct dump over there by Herman. With the set in rotation, Lieber blocked at the net. A tap comes from Langer, and it just can't get back over the net. Colorado State, and will pick up the point.
Yeah, just persistence from this Rams team. You saw a big block by Notre Dame, but the Rams stay with it. They win the point. Well done from them staying with it, as you mentioned. The kill on that little bit of a light tap, just catching a little bit of space in front of Fiona Schrader for Notre Dame. Just got it past the block.
McIntosh back to serve. Palazzolo receives it. Quickly up to Gardy, and she's able to get the kill.
Yeah, one thing we mentioned, she's part of this recruiting class. Gardy, the freshman, she has a lot of size, and that's something that Notre Dame did not have that much of last year. And between her and Anna Bjork, a lot more size in their youth. So something to look out for Notre Dame. Hopefully helps them a little bit more at the net this year.
And Salima Rockwell was open with us earlier this week and understanding Notre Dame needed to get taller, needed to be able to compete at a physical level to the same height of many of their opponents in the ACC. And what do? You bring in an athlete like Morgan Gardy, and she contributes with the height at the net.
Yeah, she's someone who will be big for Notre Dame this year and for potentially the next 3 or 4. As you mentioned it, they needed that size, and they're trying to get it with some of these freshmen, part of this really good recruiting class, as I keep saying.
Jones with a laser off her fist. Get themselves back within 2.
And you can see Jones from the back line just finds a space right in the middle. We've seen a lot of kills in this game early on, in the middle of the court there.
Jones last year broke the single season kill record for Colorado State. Someone that's trying to put her name in the record book is Gardy quickly, already finding herself with 3 kills on the evening.
And all 3 have been where she lines up basically on the sideline, arguably in the green, out of bounds, and goes across the court, either to the middle or that time all the way across, and is doing a great job so far. We'll see if Colorado State can make the adjustment and start to take away the middle.
Notre Dame will be called on the net infraction to turn it over to Colorado State. And for Colorado State, they have 5 fifth-year seniors. This is a team with veteran experience that is hoping for them to be able to lead the way in the Mountain West.
As one of them gets a kill.
Quickly set down there by Weathers, the graduate student.
Weathers, one of those 5 that you mentioned, as we get another look at her most recent kill. 5th year, strong right arm. She has a very powerful arm. That's one thing that head coach Emily Cohen was telling us before the game, and she shows it off there.
Set down from the freshman Grace Langer. Off the set from Schrader. Notre Dame opening up the middle here early, giving a little bit of Colorado State's own medicine right back to them. The Rams love working out of the middle. Notre Dame using that on their offensive scheme. A direct set over and dump for Ella Sant, the transfer student from St. Mary's. Able to find the opening before the back line.
Yeah, Ella Sant brought in to replace Nicole Drunick from last year and has done everything that Drunick provided last year, including some of those sneaky attacks.
Dockery with a great dig out, and Fiona Schrader picks up the kill off the block. And it will be a timeout for Colorado State. Notre Dame getting their home party started. They find themselves up 4 over Colorado State here in set 1 on a Friday evening in the ACC.
This is the ACC, where greatness isn't just a goal.
This crew for NBC and touched upon how cool of an opportunity it was to be the one voicing gold medals being handed out.
Yeah, she could not stop smiling when we asked her about her Olympic experience. She did do broadcasting in between her job at Penn State and since being hired here at Notre Dame, so certainly familiar like us up here in the booth. She did 2 years analysis for volleyball, and that she rose the ranks very quickly with her work and got it so much that she's in the Olympics. And wow.
What a dig by Ella Sant, laying out for it all the way. Can't race back in time to pick up the dig, but Salima Rockwell's happy with the effort her team just put out.
Yeah, we start getting into story time the minute the best point of the game is played, as we get another look at that dig by Sant. Wow, how much ground did she travel to get to that one? That was excellent work from the graduate transfer out of Holy Cross.
Set down quickly there as Lieber picks up a kill in the middle. Little blocker from Trevor, Wisconsin, which is really a Chicago suburb. Colorado State was hoping to have a little bit of a Ram contingent here in the Midwest. Schrader puts too much on it. And it's been a well-executed timeout here for Colorado State. They now climb out of their deficit to be back even with Notre Dame.
Yeah, 4 straight points coming out of their timeout. Nothing else you could hope for if you're Coach Cohen. They're in a good service run here with Yoshimoto.
Palazzolo looking to break out of it and is able to do that there, targeting Yoshimoto, who can't corral it.
That's a big point for Notre Dame. Now they get to have Fiona Schrader serve. She's added a jump serve to her repertoire this year, so we'll get to see that here, and that's good for them to stop the momentum and take the lead back.
Schrader with the hard jump serve. Notre Dame with Palazzolo reaching the hand over the net to set it down for the block.
Yeah, just a little bit of issue with the second pass for Colorado State on that play, as it just went a little bit too close to the net, and as you mentioned, Palazzolo is there to put the point away.
Schrader with the serve. Herman tracks it down. And Stanford is able to sneak it in the back corner. Kennedy Stanford, one of the graduate students, coming off a big year last year, was third team Mountain West All-Conference honoree. Schrader with the set over and gets the deflection for Notre Dame to get back up by 2.
Yeah, quick pass from Schrader to set up Bjork's kill on that play. Didn't let Colorado State get their middle blocker set up, so it goes off the top of their hands, and it's a Notre Dame point.
Palazzolo has one get set down after Colorado State tried to get it back over.
To get a net front look at that kill. Looked like maybe Bjork also combo there with Gardy. One of the two of them.
Palazzolo sends one in to the green and out of bounds. Notre Dame turns it back to the Rams. Stanford to serve. Floater over the net. Set quickly to York. Bjork is able to get a big kill there.
Yeah, set up there by the dig, the reception from Monson. It was a soft serve, kind of trying to put it into space, and Monson read it very well, was able to step up and start that play.
Palazzolo tries to dig it out, can't get it too far.
Sydney Palazzolo, like Fiona Schrader, Jake, is someone who kind of does it all. Not quite as effectively, not quite getting the triple doubles like number 19 in white is, but Palazzolo is someone who can be relied upon to chip in some digs here and there, someone who can kind of take a little bit of the load off of Monson and other liberos.
But she can also contribute offensively as the outside hitter, is a 6 rotation player, that time coming from the back row.
Yeah, from the back row and perfectly placed in the back left corner, finding the soft spot in the Colorado defense. We've seen her use the right side of the court a lot early on, and now she shows her ability to go the other way.
Harmon set to Jones in the back, and Jones with a high arching leap gets the kill.
Yeah, head coach Cohen called Jones, quote, a physical arm, and you could see that there. She also is extremely emotional, gets fired up for stuff like that. We saw a big celebration on that kill, and why not? It was a beautiful strike.
Service error that Notre Dame's able to take advantage of. Really good back and forth matchup so far here in set 1 between Colorado State and Notre Dame. What have you seen right now, Charlie, that has given way to this really competitive matchup?
I think it's two teams that have taken the pregame energy and turned it into on-court energy. We're seeing a lot of kills. We're seeing a lot of very strong hits, a lot of very powerful serves, a lot of players out here going with the jump serve, which is, of course, a little bit more difficult, a little bit harder to get it over. And sure, it's led to some service errors here and there, but you like to see these players playing full intensity, willing to take risks, willing to do what they can to try to, show off in front of these fans and show how they can really use their strength and their power and just overmatch their opponent. Both teams trying to instill that will right now, and Notre Dame just doing it slightly better so far.
Palazzolo is able to insert herself with a kill crossing courts. Now Hattie Monson. Big speculation whether she would use her COVID 5th year to come back to Notre Dame. Stays with Salima Rockwell. Coach Rockwell called it a gift to have her back and to be a leader for this program. It's Colorado State able to find an opening. Notre Dame defensively with Herman. Now Yoshimoto is back to serve. This is where Colorado State had their most success off the serve. Sent down to Ani Palazzolo. Try and sneak it in. Yoshimoto's there. Jones. Schrader. Herman with the cross-court set. Looking to go to Stanford, and Notre Dame picks up the point with it going out of bounds on the attack error.
Yeah, just good back and forth, just exactly what I was describing about a minute ago, with just both teams starting to see a little bit more defense from them now. Better blocking position, even if they're not getting blocks. Like on that play, they're forcing shots to go well out of bounds, and so Notre Dame picks up their point, 4 away from claiming the first set.
Schrader puts too much juice on it, and it singles beyond the back line. Alaya Jones coming off her second double-double of the season last night against DePaul. Serves it over as York is set down at the net by the Rams. Get themselves back within 1.
I believe that was Karina Lieber who got most of the chunk of that ball on that block, and she's had a couple blocks early on for this Rams team. Really been a presence at that net.
Schrader sets it to the middle. Lucy Trump came in firing. Now Stanford with the light tap. Monson with the pass to Trump. Sends it too high over the block.
And just like that, Colorado's tied it again, and Coach Rockwell will use her first time out to try to reset her team and see if she can have the same results that Colorado State did after their first time out.
Yeah, back tied 2020, 21-21 here between the two sides. And taking a look here for the preseason poll in the Mountain West, Colorado State, big favorites, picking up 8 first-place votes.
Yeah, after a very strong season last year, saw the program pick up 19 wins. They were expected to, especially with so many experienced players returning to that lineup. We mentioned a couple of them already: Malaya Jones, Emily Herman, Naima Weathers, Kennedy Stanford, and Karina Lieber, who we just talked about. 5 very experienced players who will touch on a bunch throughout this game. And it was thought that they were going to be dominant in the Mountain West, and obviously conference play yet to begin, and Colorado State did schedule a very difficult, very tough non-conference schedule. So although they're still below 500, they have won 3 in a row. They got Kate Yoshimoto back, who, as we touched on in the Open, has been a big influence on their team's success, and looking to pick up another win, their 4th straight, and against another strong non-conference opponent as they get ready to try to win that Mountain West after getting 8 of 11 votes to come in first.
Yeah, and Coach Cohen was very open. I wanted my non-con to be tough. I wanted to put our team in a very tough position early to see how they handle adversity. And while their record sits at 3-4 below 500, she knows it is going to come along because how much she sees her team growing. Says every set they are getting better every time they touch the court together, and you're seeing it here. Great fight from them.
Yeah, it's all you can ask for if you're a coach, is to see that upward trajectory. You work with what you've got, you make each individual better, and then you make yourself as a group better. And we're seeing Colorado State look at that trajectory so far, and right time to be getting hot too, with only a couple more games until conference play opens up.
Service error for Colorado State. Turns the ball back over to Notre Dame to put one of their best servers in Palazzolo to the line, and picks up a big point there for Notre Dame. Put themselves 2 away from set point. And now Colorado State will take their second and final timeout of this first set. They want to try They want to figure out how they're going to really respond to Notre Dame. And for Notre Dame, they're looking to try and climb in the preseason poll. Came in ranked 13th in the preseason. There is a lot of powerful programs that stand between them and getting up into the top echelon.
Yeah, 18-team conference, very big conference. The ACC also a very, very good conference. You see some extremely talented teams above them. New additions such as SMU and Cal there at 6 and 12 respectively. And of course the old guard, Pitt, Stanford, Louisville. Just some great talent in this conference. And another reason, both coaches have scheduled difficult non-conference schedules, and it's to prepare for when they have to play difficult teams like this when the stakes are even higher.
Yeah, and with the addition to Stanford into the conference, it makes Salima Rockwell's job just that much harder here in her third year. A highly touted assistant coach at Penn State, her alma mater, and at Texas, winning a national championship. And had a great playing career herself as a three-time All-American.
Yeah, you got to look at what her resume looks like. It's only her third year, still trying to build up this program. 22 and 33 record, arguably not really indicative of how she's been on this program. Of course, in her first year, it was always a rebuilding year. Last year, they got off to a very strong start, faded fast as the season went along. This year, they're off to another strong start at 4-1 and looking to increase that stamina, not fade in the second half, not start losing conference games. So that's why they play these tough games early on to be more prepared in like November.
If you want to find a coach that's bought into the institution they are coaching at, it's Salima Rockwell for Notre Dame. She believes Notre Dame is one of those top schools that she just loves being a part of and feels the love the community provides back to her. Colorado State will have Notre Dame turnover, and a miscue there from the freshman Gardy. Has it back tied at 23-23.
Should Coach Rockwell call timeout to get it?
And
I feel like every time there's been a timeout, it's an instant, at least 2 straight points. She has one in her back pocket if she wants.
lone coach that has a timeout there. Gardy taps it back, and now Colorado State in the driver's seat, and there it is, Charlie.
Announcer's jinx. Isn't that what they call it?
I think so. I think it is the announcer's jinx, as Coach Rockwell and Notre Dame will talk things over, with now Colorado State 1 point away from closing out this first set. They have powered themselves back to the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's been a real, it feels like Notre Dame has been ahead and been in control this whole set, and you look at the scoreboard, and now Colorado State all of a sudden 1 point away from winning at 25-23, and of course a lot of work for them to do. Notre Dame, an excellent reception team, but just the stick-to-itiveness that they've showed so far in this set, got to make their coach happy again. You want to see them start to improve as the year goes along, and winning a set like this would be a big step for this Rams team, especially in such an unfamiliar environment. They haven't been exceptional on the road in the past couple of years, so always got to start. If you want to win a road game, you usually have to win that first set. It becomes a lot easier if you do, even if you're the home team. Again, not a big math guy, but if you go ahead 1-0 in a best-of-5, you only have to win 2 of the next 4 as opposed to 3 of the next 4.
Look at you, Charlie Morris, big math guy up here in the broadcast booth.
Anything but.
Atmosphere here at Compton Family Ice Arena, giving way to some great volleyball here in set 1. For Colorado State, they had some problems last year getting themselves ready to go on the road. For them in 2023, they had trouble trying to find themselves. Only 7-6 on the road last year in comparison to their 10-5 at home. They want to get better at winning on the road, as this is their first weekend on the road. Their first 6 games were in Colorado State, having themselves have their fan section back with them. Now it's how do they improve on the road to get them to that next level?
Yeah, they've been a 500 team on the road the last 3 years combined, as opposed to 667 at home. So if you're a Colorado State fan, you have to be happy with the result last night against DePaul, and you have to be hoping that it is a similar result tonight.
Colorado State looking to shore up this first set, as they do, with Karina Lieber finding an opening in the back row. Efficient. And now sent back to serve. Yoshimoto receives a serve to start things off here in set 2 as Jones sends one too far and goes out of bounds.
Right on cue. First error for Jones in the game after getting 6 kills on 10 attempts, so now 6 on 11 with an error, but still, if you're Notre Dame, you want to see a little bit more of that.
Nice set down there by Gardy. Jones will get it over. Sant digs it out. Gardy in motion. Is able to pick up the kill.
Yeah, Morgan Gardy gets that kill. As you see, some of the versatility of Fiona Schrader allowing Ella Sant to play off the net a little bit, and Schrader takes her position front center, trying to get the sets down, and does so effectively set up Gardy.
Big attempted block from Notre Dame. That gets recovered by Colorado State. Sant with the set going cross court into Gardy, and it's a Gardy party in the Captain Family Ice Arena here in set 2. Huge pickup for Notre Dame volleyball. Only lives an hour and 15 away from South Bend, where she's from, in Angola, Indiana. And Coach Rockwell talked about how important it was to bring her in as top recruits, get other top recruits to commit.
Yeah, again, we've mentioned the #2 recruiting class in the ACC. This incoming freshman class for Coach Rockwell. And Gardy is one of the coolest stories in that recruiting class because she was brought in, plucked out directly from Big Ten territory. So a rival conference, a rival premier conference in volleyball and other sports. And Gardy comes in, chooses not to go the Big Ten route, comes to Notre Dame instead. It's a big pickup, a huge pickup.
Burns able to get it. A kill there, and then picks up the service ace. Flirting with the line. Once more, the Rams firing back after finding themselves quickly behind. And Brune picks up another service ace. The freshman from Barcelona, Spain, has provided a spark plug offensively for this Rams team.
Yeah, when Coach Cohen inserted her into the starting lineup, it was a tough decision. She had to bench one of her veterans to put Brune in, but Brune has done nothing but produce and take the most out of that opportunity. And opportunity for Schrader, and she's not going to miss that one.
Fiona Schrader able to sneak one over, and that's the versatility in Fiona Schrader. Can hit you with a laser of a swing, but then can just as easily hit the E-brake and slow it down and have it jump over. Notre Dame, and Sant's able to dig it out. Schrader off the block, and just showing you the versatility between her last 2 kills. Has the slow one, then is able to gas it back up.
Yeah, just getting it hard enough so that it goes off the block and to the side, as opposed to straight down back on her own side of the net. So Schrader, that $1 million arm put to use.
Dockery with the serve for Notre Dame. Stanford with a strong kill.
So we get another look at Kennedy Stanford's most recent kill. We've seen a lot of those cross-court plays so far, and Monson in the right spot, but just so much velocity on that kill, and good to even get a hand on it, tough to do much more than Monson did.
Sant sets the middle. In Langer, and it's a really good point. Langer, whenever she comes in, the middle blocking freshman, opens up the offense, can be on the attack.
Yeah, just almost like push that to get it. Not quite as the soft touch we saw from Schrader a few points ago, but certainly not the high velocity kill. Just trying to get it over the block, but not too soft, and allow the blockers to recover and dig it themselves. So an interesting play. You don't see that one that often, but it worked in that scenario.
Jones with a big load up gets the kill. Her 7th of the evening.
Yeah, it's a good set. Good work setting it up from Herman, who is a great passer in her own right. We talked a lot about Ella Sant's passing, but Herman also a great setter and set that one up for Jones.
Yoshimoto with a great dig there. Colorado State gets it back. Notre Dame in rotation. Has Schrader pick up the kill.
Monson to Schrader to the far side of the court, just inside the line. Great work by our replay crew to pick up that excellent angle. And we talk about the veteran leadership for Colorado State, and we have to talk about it too for Notre Dame. Schrader, the senior, Monson, the 5th year. You touched on her briefly already, Jake. Use that extra year of COVID eligibility to come back, and what a valuable player Hattie Monson is.
Yeah, 2 regular seniors on the team for Notre Dame, 3 graduate students, and then 6 juniors. You add all that together, it adds for a lot of experience that have played tough in the ACC together and have started to really find Salima Rockwell's vision for the program and how they want to play her style of volleyball. Schrader sets the middle in Bjork, and that time Lieber just gets caught.
Yeah, tough spot. There. Just to finish that thought, we mentioned a couple times the excellent young freshman that Salima Rockwell's brought in and is the future of this Notre Dame team. But one thing that she was very quick to say is that she's really looking forward to see how those youngsters mesh with the talented and good leadership veterans that they already have. And you have to be happy if you're Rockwell right now with the results early on. There's Lucy Trump. Wow.
A razor from Lucy Trump sends it right to Yoshimoto. And the junior making her presence known.
That was the seed. I don't know how else to describe that.
Trump able to get the velo on it. Trump there has it blocked, tried to get a foot on it to keep it alive. Couldn't get a step in quick enough as Colorado State will get themselves back within 2. Whenever it feels like the pendulum has completely swung the Notre Dame's way, Colorado State enters the conversation. Gardy off the deflection. It's Notre Dame back a point.
Yeah, this has been a very streaky game. We've seen a lot of 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 scoring runs. And so as you mentioned, whenever it feels like Notre Dame gets one of those runs, Colorado State tends to get it back. So not sure if that's a sustainable formula long term, but it doesn't have to be long term. They just need to win 3 sets.
A little deflection. Colorado State's able to get the point.
That was pretty close to that line. If I were Coach Rockwell, she's on the other side of the court, so she does not have the same view he does, but could consider pulling that green card out for a play like that.
Jones finds the opening. Is able to set it down.
Herman with the pass and great kill right to the middle. And here's one of those runs that Colorado's on to bring the score back to closer.
Lucy Trump into the back row, finds it into the corner. Now Lucy Trump, junior from Florence, Kentucky, steps into the service line, has played her best volleyball, Coach Rockwell believes, when she's free, and is doing what's best for the team. And so far today, feel like she is playing that way, with Monson digging it out with one forearm. Gets it over to Schrader, who tried to off balance get it over the net. Now Colorado State off the error, gets back within 1, and they have Brune to serve.
This gives us a good opportunity to finish our thought on Maria Brune, someone who was not caused by injury, not caused by anything other than an 0-4 record, and Coach Cohen makes the decision to put Maria Brune in the lineup, true freshman out of Spain. Not sure what you're getting out of her, but what has come is better than they could have expected. She has great composure. That's one thing that the coach really likes about her as a freshman. Great composure on that court, and just does a remarkable job with the serves as well as in the attack.
Schrader with the hard swing. It's rejected at the net. Sant with the dump herself. Great call there. Sant saw the opening and takes it.
It's the way she disguises that she's going to do that. Nothing looks different between when she makes the pass 95% of the time versus that 5% when she goes for a sneaky play like that. And it's that ability to be deceptive that makes it so effective.
In her 5th year of volleyball. Another individual that's in their 5th year of collegiate volleyball, Jones, sets down a kill.
A little bit of an interesting story for Malaya Jones. She does have another year of eligibility if she wishes to come back next year. Did not play at all in 2020 or 2021. Transferred in from USC. They moved her to opposite hitter last year, and that's really helped her on the offense and also helped her on the defense. Coach Cohn says that she's really improving at defense, which is big for her balance as a player, not being so one-dimensional.
And for Jones, has an interesting story of how she got back to Colorado State. Originally out of high school, was committed to the Rams. Decides, flips her commitment, goes to the Trojans. And then when she enters the portal, decides that she's going to take her talents back to Colorado State and now finds herself in a huge role for this program.
Yeah, she's out of Santa Ana, California, so maybe made the commitment, decided she would rather stay closer to home, but then realized that she indeed did want to come here, and a big pickup for this Rams team, and she's been here for 2 years making huge contributions on the court, improving at defense, as we just said, and could come back for next year.
Yeah, has a lot that she brings to the Colorado State program. Already has 10 kills today for them. Palazzolo just gets it across. Stanford loads up with a big kill. Now the Colorado State Rams back tied with Notre Dame at 14 apiece. Schrader sets it down. Everybody in the area, but no one could get back to their feet in time to try and play defense. And should be the media timeout on the court, as it will be finally as the players come off the court. Notre Dame at a higher clip right now, Charlie.
Yeah. Normally when you hit 45%, you're probably going to be hitting higher than your opponents, as in Colorado's case, but the offenses have been so effective, so efficient today. Both teams, both sets, at least 40%, which is very, very high. And Notre Dame right now at 522, just an unbelievable number. Give credit to the hitters, but also give credit to the setters who are making it easy on the outside hitters and the middle blockers, the ones who are doing the attacks.
Johnson sets to Trump. Trump's able to get a forearm on it. Palazzolo with the big load up. Has it with a jostle at the net. Back to Stanford. Palazzolo with a dig that goes over herself. Notre Dame will get themselves into system for Lucy Trump. And Colorado State doesn't win the point. It's for Notre Dame after the deflection, a call by the line judge.
Yeah, we saw Lucy Trump right away look at the referee as if to say that was definitely tipped. That was definitely tipped. The junior out of Kentucky has also benefited from Ava Lang's injury, getting in there and making a big kill there. And I believe Rockwell was going to trust her player, something she often does, as there's a great block by the Irish to take a 3-point lead, and the timeout by Colorado State. So just to finish that point, Coach Rockwell trusts her players. She loves her players, and you'd have to imagine that if the line judge had not overturned the main referee's call on that point, that Rockwell would have brought out that green card and made that challenge, as Trump's instant reaction was to point her coach and hold her hand up is to say, card, card. And normally when a player does that, as we've seen in the last 3 years during Rockwell's tenure, she does not hesitate to go for that challenge.
Yeah, she does not hesitate at all. Colorado State right now trying to figure themselves out here in a fabulous atmosphere in the Compton Family Ice Arena. The Duncan Hall, a dormitory on campus, comes out supporting part of the student section, getting front row seats right on the Notre Dame hockey bench. behind the scorers table, providing a loud and ruckus atmosphere here in the Compton Family Ice Arena. Future Notre Dame volleyball players in attendance as well, giving way to a cool opportunity to bring volleyball here to the Compton Family Ice Arena.
Yeah, Jake, we were talking before the game. We weren't sure how this place was going to fill up. It's such a big capacity arena. Over 5,000 seats here at Compton Family Ice Arena, and it's filled up quite nicely. Across from us is where most people are sitting, although there's a good chunk below us as well that we can't see. But you mentioned Duncan Hall on the Notre Dame hockey home bench. Fans also on the visiting bench right below us. So tons of people courtside, tons of people getting loud. This is such a unique experience and so cool for these players. And so cool for us to be part of it up here in the press box.
Yeah, first time since 2017 Notre Dame has played a game in the Compton Family Ice Arena. In 2017, they had the Golden Dome Classic. They went 3-0 on the weekend, beat Valpo 3-1, beat URI 3-0, and beat New Mexico State 3-1. They were successful in Compton and so far trying to be successful here in 2024 in their return back to the home of Notre Dame hockey. Trump's able to sneak it through. Jones from the back row. Trump once more. Jones playing a little bit of defense herself, digs it. Stanford will just get it over. Notre Dame sets themselves into the middle, looking for Bjork. And it's off the deflection, and Notre Dame gets themselves up by 4 here and in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you see the Irish, they go to Gardy for the kill, but they've gone to Trump many times. They really like what they're seeing, and I can't blame them. She has a very strong arm. She's in that outside hitter position right now, playing on her strong side on that right side, and there's an ace and a big celebration. Hattie Monson, someone who is a very vocal leader for this Notre Dame team, starting the bow and arrow celebration in the circle to celebrate the ace, and Colorado State forced to use their second timeout.
Hattie Monson, someone through her time developing as a leader for the program. She's been a libero consistently throughout her 5 years with the program. And really, over the past 2 years, being in the captain position has taken that role to the next level, feeling more comfortable to be vocal and be an advocate for Salima Rockwell in the locker room when she steps away.
Yeah, Hattie Monson is someone whose storyline has crossed multiple seasons in her development, not only as a player, but more importantly, as a person and as a leader, someone who many players look up to in this Notre Dame locker room, and someone who has to be that leader. She's the libero. She wears a different color jersey. She stands out on the court. And now, recently, as she's gotten older, she's began to stand out off the court too in all the good ways. Number 8 in blue today, and on the white team on this Notre Dame side that's right there in the middle of the team huddle, engaged in listening, and someone who is always joining the team at the center of the huddle after each point, always high-fiving teammates, trying to be the first every time, just really embrace that leadership role that she has stepped into.
Yeah, and is very strong part of the Notre Dame student-athlete community beyond. As part of the student-athlete advisory committee today, 2 digs, 3 assists, passing always takes a step forward for Notre Dame when she's being able to be involved. And for Hattie Monson, has hosted the Student-Athlete Awards, what they call the Oscars, here on campus multiple times. There's only been a couple of returning hosts. It's like the actual Oscars. If you get the call back to come back to host, you know you did a pretty good job.
And she definitely has. And here on the second straight ace for Schrader, but Monson, has she left the court yet? I don't think she's left the court yet in more than a set, so valuable. They, of course, have Alyssa Menitsis on the bench. Does Coach Rockwell if they wish to make a change, but Monson's so valuable. Hard to take her off, even though she needs that rest. She'll tell you she wants to stay on, and right now she's staying on.
Someone that wants to stay on is Fiona Schrader onto the service line. That time can't keep her good times rolling. Gives Colorado State a point back here in this second set. Notre Dame within 5 of closing out and picking up the second set victory. Colorado State and Stanford is going to have something to say about it. Dockery receives the serve. Palazzolo sneaks it by Jones and picks up the kill.
6th kill for Palazzolo. 4th on the team, by the way, with 6 kills. The Irish have 3 with 7. Gardy, Schrader, and Bjork all with 7, and Palazzolo with 6. It's been a really balanced offensive attack.
Free ball over the net, and Gardy sets it down on the opportunity provided.
I think I could see Morgan Gardy's eyes light up from all the way up here. She saw that free ball coming over the net, and those eyes became flying saucers, and she did not make any mistake. You have to feel bad for the Colorado State player who have to try to block that, as Gardy was absolutely going to knock that one down.
Schrader with an amazing job close to the net to get it, to set it. Now Schrader from the back row to Trump decides to just tap it over, and what a great offensive set for Notre Dame.
It's just really fun to watch when you've got a team making so many plays like that. Trump, something she's done better according to Coach Rockwell this year is read the block, and you saw her right there, read the block, put some air under it, and turn it into a kill.
Trump's able to reconcile an attempted block, gets it back to Notre Dame. Palazzolo, Jones goes out to save one that was destined for the green. Schrader sets Bjork, and Bjork just couldn't come in contact with the ball. It was just too high above her swing.
Yeah, just a little bit of mistiming there between Schrader and Bjork, and it'll happen sometimes. We've seen so many good offensive plays. We showed the graphic with the very high hitting percentages. Mistakes are bound to happen, and Colorado State will absolutely take advantage of that.
Service error there for Colorado State. Notre Dame now 1 point away from tying the matchup at 1 set apiece. Freshman Bjork serves it over on the laser. Off the block, Schrader's there, able to dig it out. Gardy off the deflection, and Notre Dame from start to finish, hold on to six.
It's loud either way, Jake. There is no shortage of noise in here. It's hard to hear you sometimes, hard to hear my producer, Carl. Just so exciting in here, so loud.
Energy is through the roof here in the Captain Family Ice Arena on Notre Dame home opener for volleyball, picking up the big set win. Just like that, we're back to playing volleyball in Colorado State. It's BYOE, bring your own energy after that point, trying to get the pendulum back to their side.
And a big block. We haven't seen too many blocks from this Colorado State team so far in the game. Only 4 in the match among players on the court right now, and one of them now 5 after that block. Jones, I think, got most of her hand on it.
Yoshimoto passes up to Stanford, blocked at the net. Yoshimoto will pass now to Jones, who works through the block, but comes in contact with the net, and Notre Dame gets the point.
So we get another look at Jones coming in contact with that net. Oh, and actually the ball goes off the pole. So maybe not her in contact with the net, but either way, Notre Dame picks up the point.
Jones through the block this time and gets the point nonetheless.
Herman with the great set. Again, they're looking for Jones at all costs, and why not? She's been Notre Dame struggling to find an answer for her in this third set and in this whole game, so why not keep going to her?
Sant sets it back to Schrader, and Schrader gets the kill.
Schrader now with 8 kills on 17 attempts. 15 assists for her as well. So she's been doing it all once again. Someone who really contributes at many things.
Schrader right now has 8 kills, 15 assists, 9 digs. She is in triple-double watch once more.
While casually having more service aces than everyone else in the game combined.
As Schrader picks up now her 4th service ace of the day. High looping serve that can't get over the net that time. Got to get tied back at 3.
Yeah, we talked briefly about her jump serve that she's added this year, and it will come with errors like that one, but it'll also come with aces like she's shown throughout the game. And another error there, Colorado State. Untimely service errors for them in this game is they've seemingly given away some of their momentum with errors like that one. Already one error for each team in this set and only 7 points, something that's a lot different than what we saw in the first 2 sets.
Sandra received, got it back from Braun, and they'll go back to her again. Another block from the tandem of Trump and Bjork. Watson digs it out. Palazzolo from the back row. Yoshimoto laid too far out for it, couldn't get a firm control on it, and Palazzolo showing why she's a 6th rotation player for Notre Dame.
Yeah, someone who can score points, get kills from all over the court. Very rare skill set. She was a really big storyline for this Notre Dame volleyball team last year, in a year where they really didn't have many options on offense. And Palazzolo was asked to carry a huge load every single game. And you're seeing this year a little bit more help around her, and maybe that loosens her up. Maybe it allows her to play from the back line more. Maybe it allows her to be more efficient in her hitting. We'll have to see as the season progresses, but Palazzolo is still an extremely good player, even if we don't talk about her as much as we did last year.
Gardy gets a kill there and is able to pick up the kill. And now Notre Dame trying to increase their lead. Can't happen there with a service error.
Set has been different from the first 2 in many ways. Better defense, first of all. Couple more offensive errors, couple more service errors than we're accustomed to seeing, but also it's been very back and forth. I thought the first 2 sets were very streaky, very one team wins a couple and then the other team wins a couple, but right now it's very back and forth.
Bjork tries to go over. It's set to Jones. Langard, middle blocker, trying to get on the attack herself. Great dig by Braun. And a great dig to turn to offense for Jordan Tinsky. Laying out for it. The freshman's able to sneak it by.
Yeah, Tinsky hasn't really seen the court that much in this game or this season. Only 12 sets played coming into today's match, but did a great job to get her body on the line for that one. And Lucy Trump thinks about it and lets it land, but clearly, as we see on our Jumbotron above us, inbounds. And a tough read for her, obviously very close to the line, but definitely caught some of that tan-colored court.
Herman with a set to Brown. Schrader with the set to Trump, and Trump just couldn't get it over the block there.
So we get another look at this defense from Colorado State. Good job timing their jump, not going up too early, not falling for Lucy Trump, going for that soft touch and turning into a point.
And it turns into a point there once more. Notre Dame can't receive the serve from Herman. And now the Rams and the Fighting Irish tied at 7. Gardy gets it across. Herman and LeBron. Schrader will get it over to set the Rams in their offensive attack. They set the middle in Weathers. Palazzolo is able to dig it off. Out of Jones, and Jones has it go out of bounds. Notre Dame is able to take advantage of the miscue.
Yeah, Jones has been going cross court a lot in this game, tries it again, just misses out of bounds. Earlier in that point, Palazzolo, I'm not convinced she didn't catch one off her face in a dig, at least in the upper, maybe her shoulder, but good work by her to get that dig. We mentioned Schrader's versatility, but Palazzolo is someone who can get those digs as well. especially as she continues to play in the back line where she's been finding offensive success in this game. She can really continue to dig those balls out as well. That's really big for Coach Rockwell Palazzolo. 5 digs, tied for 3rd on the Irish.
Weathers finding success in the middle for Colorado State. Yoshimoto up to Jones, rejected by Palazzolo and Langer.
That's a huge block by the 2 Irish players there, and lands inbounds, even better for Notre Dame. Haven't seen a lot of blocks from them, but they get one there, get it done. And Monson, oh, what a dig.
Dockery up to Schrader, and Schrader picks up her 9th kill, and that firmly will put her 1 away from another triple-double.
Yeah, good work by her to get her body around that kill. It was, as a lefty, she's on her right side, so she has to get that body around so she doesn't hit it out of bounds, and she does effectively and turns it into a good kill. And
dig there by Sant. Schrader gets one across. Jones loads up. Palazzolo rejects it. Yoshimoto is going to try and get it across herself, but Notre Dame using everyone on the court to pick up the point.
Yeah, Maria Bruin had a great dig for Colorado State to set up that kill opportunity, but the Notre Dame blockers get another one done. If well done by them to win the point, and Colorado State will take that.
Able to get the ball back and get Yoshimoto serving where she has been successful. Yoshimoto, his first 3 games due to injury since coming back for Colorado State, has been a spark plug for this team and has really pushed themselves into contention, having all 3 of their wins come when she was back on the court. And for them, looking to try get themselves back in contention here in this 3rd set. Yoshimoto can't dig it out on the serve, and it's the bow and arrow for Schrader.
Yeah, 4th ace for Schrader from the service line. That jump serve with topspin she's been placing that very effectively in the middle of the court, just in front of the back line, and there targeted Yoshimoto, and so tough to read for anyone trying to receive that service. It looks like it's coming to you, and then the topspin on it just causes it to just dive, and it just dove there, and Yoshimoto could not handle it.
Schrader with the strong serve. Stanford has it quickly set down, picks up the kill. Stanford, the journalism and media communications major at Colorado State. Jones serves to Ackery. It's down to the hardwood. And Palazzolo through the block, getting it by Lieber to keep in control.
Yeah, Palazzolo just overpowered Lieber on that point. She'll go back to serve now as well. Not bad positioning from the Rams on that block attempt, but Palazzolo just too powerful, gets it through.
Burn with service dig. Jones has it sent back at the net. Monson lays out for it. Schrader goes to the net. Set for Palazzolo. Wow! What an offensive set for Notre Dame.
Wow, what a way to take us to our...
Notre Dame Volleyball's Fiona Schrader is having herself a day, and it's because of attacks like these.
Yeah, Schrader with 9 kills on the day, 1 away from reaching that triple-double that she has been so effective at coming up with this season. She won't surpass, most likely will not get to 21 that she was able to get in her last game against Northwestern, but still that was a career high, so you can't expect her to get to that every single game, even though she continues to get better and better and better, but still been such a valuable piece. Also coming in there with 19 assists to lead the team as Schrader, and 10 digs as well.
Set to the middle, and Notre Dame able to capitalize and continue the momentum here after the media timeout.
Yeah, the block attempt from Lieber just goes off her left hand and throws the play off just enough. And another assist for Schrader, kill for Trump, who then immediately points at Schrader after as if to say, nice pass.
Macy Alexander, a serving specialist for Notre Dame, steps onto the court. Jones from the block. We'll go back to Jones again with the laser. Alexander is able to dig it out. Direct sent over. Great decision there by Herman. Last weekend alone had 126 assists. A setter that finds herself on the attack this time, dumping it over. Averaging just under half a kill per set. Now Tinsky, who had that great play moments before the media break, serves for Colorado State. Herman gets it across once more. Schrader trying to show that she can be an offensive setter herself. Another big block. Notre Dame will keep it alive. The pass to Schrader, to Trump. Herman, Brune, Monson digs it out. Schrader chases it down. Gardy. Great volley here between these two teams. Gardy picks the win for Notre Dame here for the point.
What a point. Easily the longest rally we've seen of the day by both teams, and what a perfectly placed kill from Gardy. We saw pretty much everyone, all 12 players on the court, get involved in that point, and Notre Dame finds a way to come out with the point victory. And with a crowd like this, that gets everyone fired up. When the home team can win a long rally like that one, so we have a delay on the court. Perhaps a challenge.
Will be a challenge on the court. Terry Miller, the downward official, will go over to the monitor. Take a look.
Not sure what they could be looking at. It certainly seemed from up here and on our replays that kill from Gardy was well inbounds, so maybe looking at a play earlier in the point.
Taking a look here to see whether it was inbounds or not, and from that angle, clearly inbounds. And appears Terry Miller is still at the monitor, trying to break through and see something.
Looks like looking on a screen, through a screen, looking at some sort of play at the net, maybe wondering if there was an extra hit by the Irish at some point, or a net touch perhaps. Never know what they could be looking at, but if you got a very small glimpse of the monitor that official is looking at, maybe certainly looks like they're checking to see if a Notre Dame player touched the net.
Checking to see here.
That's the kill from Gardy again. Doesn't really matter if it was touched or not. It's a great view. Clearly wasn't, but landed inbounds anyway.
Terry Miller was looking to try and get the headset off, and finally pulls it off. As he'll go over the official scores.
And he will overturn the call. So clearly whatever he was looking at, there was a net violation or a fourth touch, whatever they were asking for, and after a pretty lengthy review, it is overturned. So good eye by the Colorado State bench, and pulling the challenge card out at the right time. That's a big moment in this game, turning, instead of a 5-point deficit, it's now a 3-point deficit.
Yeah, they retained their 2 challenges with being successful there. Trump with a hard swing through the net. Herman went chasing for it, couldn't get there in time, but Lucy Trump gets the kill for Notre Dame. Up 4 right now, in control, playing solid volleyball after the first set. Was in large control in set 1, but ultimately couldn't find themselves on the winning side with Colorado State sneaking up, but ever since then it's been Notre Dame, and Notre Dame leading the way. Colorado State there picks up the point. Notre Dame can't find the hardwood on the attack, and Marie Herman, the graduate student, transferred in from Arizona 2 years ago. Been a dynamic part of their passing game. Morgan Gardy becoming a dynamic part of Notre Dame's attack.
Yeah, Gardy, we mentioned before her size, and it allows the setters, whoever's passing it to her, to put a little bit more air under that. It makes, they don't have to be quite as precise. She can work with a lot more different passes and uses that size to her advantage and gets it over the block. She's been very effective today.
Schrader with a hard swing. Yoshimoto passes it forward, but wrong. Now Sant sets to Palazzolo. Herman out of run. Watson with the pass to Schrader. Dockery goes out laying for it, can't get there.
It's another long rally, another big point for Colorado. Pulling it back to within 3 as we get another look at that tandem block. Certainly looks like it got most of Weathers' hands. Naima Weathers, we haven't said her name that much today, but certainly someone who Colorado State will need to step up if they want to make this comeback and win this game. She's, like Malaya Jones, very emotional, arguably more emotional, and we saw the celebration there after getting that block, and why not? What a rally, and what a way to cap it off.
Weathers with 4 kills today as a service error has Notre Dame be able to pick up the point.
Weathers also with 3 blocks, so she has been a presence at the net, has Naima Weathers. They call her Nemo over on the Colorado State team. They have a couple nicknames for their vets.
Sant there is able to dump it off. What a great call by Ella Sant, the center for Notre Dame. They'll get one over and put themselves 5 away from closing out this 3rd set and to go up 2-1.
Yeah, Ella Sant's so crafty with that. We've seen both setters go for that kind of play. It's not a common play, but you do see it from time to time, and Sant has been doing it a little bit more than Herman and with a little bit more success. It's her 3rd kill, so we talk about the balanced Notre Dame attack, and if they can get points like that, I mean, they're going to be tough to stop. They have Morgan Gardy leading the way with 11 kills, 2 with 9, Palazzolo and Schrader. Bjork has 8, Trump has 5. So just a lot of balance on this Notre Dame team. They've been hitting, as a team, .333, very effective.
And for them, they're going to need that depth there, Charlie, in the ACC with so many teams in the top 25 from the conference. You look at it, Pitt, Stanford, Louisville. Those are the top 3 teams in the conference, and they're top 4 in the country.
Yeah, 3 of the top 4 in one conference. That is almost unheard of. And for Notre Dame, that just means tougher competition. Of course, Georgia Tech and Florida State also very strong programs in their own right, ranked 15 and 21 respectively. 5 teams from the ACC in the top 25, and Notre Dame's gonna have to battle in this conference. And Salima Rockwell loves that word, battle. She loves that she thinks this game is a battle. That's why she scheduled it. She wouldn't schedule it if she thought that it wouldn't be a battle. And so for Notre Dame, they're gonna have to get that compete level as high as they can before they get into ACC play.
Yeah, and in non-conference, you want to test yourself with adversity. Both coaches talking to us about it this week, understanding that when you have these top programs from their conferences like Colorado State, a team that is picked to win the Mountain West, be able to come to your place and play you tight, it allows for huge non-conference opportunities to set yourself up for conference play, like we talked about, Charlie, that leads the country. Colorado State disguises a set to the middle. It goes to Jones instead. Yoshimoto gets it back to Jones. Schrader digs it out. Palazzolo through the block and gets Notre Dame the kill.
Just methodical from Notre Dame. No one needing to dive anywhere. No one out of position for the Irish. They've defended Jones's two kill attempts extremely well and turned it into a good opportunity for Palazzolo, who gets a fortunate bounce off the side of the block, and she'll absolutely take that.
Schrader with the strong jump serve. Run gets it over. Now Trump looking for the deflection and gets it for Notre Dame. 22-16, and Lucy Trump playing a big role at the net. And it's enough pressure for the Rams to take a timeout.
Yeah, Colorado State and Emily Cohen using their second timeout. They've used all 6 in this game as they try to slow down the momentum here at Compton Family Ice Arena. Crowd has been involved, especially on some of these exciting points. And Colorado State, to their credit, has won most of these exciting points. But whenever Notre Dame is able to win those longer rallies or make a huge kill or get a timely block, that gets the crowd really involved. And, you know, Colorado State, we've mentioned, not too bad on the road. A 500 record on the road is certainly respectable, but with how strong a program they are, they do seek better. And if they could find a way to come in here and beat this strong Irish team, that would certainly be a good step for them. But with the way Notre Dame is playing right now, both on offense and most recently on defense, it's harder done than said.
Yeah, and they can get themselves forward by trying to reclaim the statistic war right now. For Notre Dame, they're leading it. And it's the hitting percentage that has somewhat dropped off for Colorado State after the first set, hitting at such a high efficient clip, and now drops down to 210 over the entire match.
I think most of that comes down to a little bit too one-dimensional if you're the Rams. They're really seeing them go to Malaya Jones every single time. They sometimes will get Kennedy Stanford involved, but Jones has been always, that's like option 1, 2, and 3 for this Rams team, and Notre Dame has found a way to make the adjustment to get better at defending it. You see the hit percentage as the game has gone along, been cut in half, or from first set to second set, and then even worse of a percentage cut from second to third. And Notre Dame, give credit to them for making the defensive adjustments, and for Colorado, how can they make the offensive adjustments to counter that?
Schrader has it go off the tape. Colorado State's able to corral it. Watson calls off Palazzolo just to pass it over. Open rotation here for Herman, and she's able to take control of it and get the point.
Yeah, right on cue. They do try going somewhere else. You said before the game you expect them to use the middle a lot on their attacks, and we see an example of that there. And Lieber gets the kill and right through the blocks. We'll see if the Rams will kind of go to that a little bit more, try to mix it up on the offense.
Colorado State needs to bring the block into the game. That's one of the statistic battles they are winning. For them, they now have 7 to Notre Dame's 4, showing it there with Herman. Schrader behind the back, set to Trump. What a beautiful set there from Fiona Schrader. All starts from the senior setter.
23rd assist for Schrader. Put a lot of air under that one. Behind her back, no look. Just what a pass, and Trump did the rest. Well done again. We talked about her reading the block, and she read it perfectly there.
Stanford comes in to get the momentum back to Colorado State's side. Staying around here in this third set. Stanford with the serve. Motson's able to receive. Trump can't get over the net. And Salima Rockwell is going to use her timeout here. Talk things over with her program.
Yeah, nothing to panic about if you're Notre Dame. Still in control of this set, up by 3 points, 23-20, but Colorado State on a little bit of a run, showing something here, facing adversity in this third set. Obviously, you don't want to go down 2-1. Force yourself to be pretty much perfect the rest of the way, but I think this is a good timeout from Coach Rockwell. You could kind of sense from up here that Colorado State can feel it right now. They got the block, they got the kill from Lieber, they got the kill from Stanford. They're getting offense from different sources right after I suggested it. And it's turning into a closer set than Coach Rockwell was hoping for, so that's why she calls timeout. She still has one in her back pocket if she wants. So,
yeah, it sets up for a great contest between the two sides right here in the Compton Family Ice Arena. That's Craig Dyer, associate head coach of the Notre Dame volleyball team. He's bringing out the sweater, the Notre Dame hockey sweater, going for the jersey instead of his normal golf shirt and quarter zip attire, along with Paul Concert, another assistant coach, getting involved in it as well, making sure that they look the part in the Compton Family Ice Arena.
Yeah, dressed to impress, and they certainly are. Such a rare opportunity, first time in 7 years, Notre Dame here playing volleyball at this Compton Family Ice Arena, so you might as well dress for the occasion. Of course, Coach Rockwell, in her typical attire, she always dresses for the occasion, so nothing she needs to change.
You ever want style guide points, you gotta go to Salima Rockwell. She brings in all the style on her bench fits. Gardy passes it to Palazzolo and just flat-footed sends it into the net, and Colorado State off the Notre Dame timeout gets the first point. Back within 2. Notre Dame 2 away from closing out this third set. Schrader to Gardy, and Gardy off the deflection. Notre Dame 1 point away from capturing their second set.
That's a big point, and we see Colorado State go to Malaya Jones whenever they're in trouble, and we now see Notre Dame go to their kills leader, Morgan Gardy, when they need a point. So Notre Dame will substitute in Maisie Alexander, the service specialist, to try to win this set right here and right now.
Braun with a hard laser of an attack. But it's Palazzolo on her attack to get Notre Dame their second set win to put themselves underway here in the fourth set. Colorado State with their backs up against the walls. They get the deflection and start things off in the driver's seat, picking up the first set. Notre Dame, it's one more set to claim victory here in their home opener. Colorado State trying to keep the good times rolling on a 3-game winning streak, and they have the good times rolling here in set 4, opening up on a 2-0 run off the service line with Bruin.
Yeah, Bruin gets a little bit of a fortunate bounce off the tape and just rolls over for the ace. Colorado State up 2-0 early.
Sat with the behind the back set up to Gardy. And gets Notre Dame their first point of this fourth set.
Get another look at that behind the back pass from Sant. Talked a lot about Schrader's passing this game, but Ella Sant is someone who is an unbelievable setter, unbelievable playmaker, makes it really easy for Notre Dame attackers.
And another big pickup for Salima Rockwell in the transfer portal. Last year, grabs Nicole Drunick, the Georgia Tech transfer, brings her in and was a steady force for Notre Dame offensively, being the primary setter. And then this year goes in and gets Ella Sant, and once again provides that calm composure from the setting position to allow offense to build just like that.
Yeah, she's a 5th year. We talk about the 5th years for Colorado, but graduate student for the Fighting Irish. Coach Rockwell, when we talked about her in our pregame interview, she quickly transitioned that conversation to about Sant's off-court contribution, said that she's very mature, extremely important, kind of the keystone to this team and this team's dynamic. She doesn't ever need extra attention from the coaching staff. She's never someone they have to worry about when they're on road trips. She's someone who helps. Not only do they not worry about her, but she helps the coaching staff keep the others in line. She helps in kind of as that player's voice, that the players who maybe aren't quite as experienced as her and aren't quite as sure about like what to do on a night when you're on a road trip, right? And she helps kind of balance that, and she's just so valuable for Coach Rockwell in so many ways.
Very valuable for this offense as well. And Forsant is called the mama bear of this program, brings in that experience that is across both these two signs for Colorado State. 5 fifth-year seniors for Notre Dame. They have 3 graduate students on their roster. Experience is plentiful on both sides of the net in this contest. Stanford tries to go around the block and can't get it to fall inbounds. And Notre Dame back in control once more. On the serve with Kaylee Dockery. Talk about energy. It's all Kaylee Dockery. She brings it whether she's on the court or off the court. And they're bringing it with a big point for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Dockery in the starting lineup tonight. Been a very valuable piece for this Notre Dame team. Not someone who gets mentioned that much in all the big stats, but plays a very exceptional complementary role. And as you mentioned, super energetic. And you need that from some of your depth players on that team. And Dockery, a great example of the perfect teammate, if you will.
Monson can't get her platform on it. It's a really strong swing from Weathers in the middle. And now Yoshimoto. Sant chases it down behind the back set. Gets it to Schrader, dumping it above the block and down. It's just the creativeness that Fiona Schrader has to allow for these offensive attacks to come in so many different ways.
2 blockers and someone behind in support, and she somehow finds the Bermuda Triangle between them all and wins the point for the Irish.
Hard swing there. Just can't find the hardwood. Notre Dame starting to really pull themselves away. Up 5 right now over Colorado State. Coach Cohn, leader of the Colorado State team, watching on, looking for something, and
I think we have some disagreement. The 2 officials are pointing different ways.
yeah, both.
Not sure if that was deflected by the player on Notre Dame in the back. We'll get a look whether it touches Monson or not.
Green card's gonna come out here for Emily Cohn. She wants to challenge it. Here came running to make sure the play does not ensue, because if it did ensue, it would close the opportunity to challenge.
So the call on the floor is that Monson did not touch that ball coming over the net, and they'll look at it at the monitor. Of course, Cohen 1 for 1 in the game on challenges, looking to move to 2-2. And if Colorado State wants a real chance in this set, they probably need to end this scoring run by Notre Dame. They're on a 3-0 run. They were coming off a 5-0 run after Colorado started up 2-0. So back to that kind of first 2-set vibe of the streakiness. Set 3 was a little bit more back and forth until Notre Dame really took over as it went along. But right now it's all Irish, and a big moment in this game. That's whether Hattie Monson did touch that ball as it flew past her right hand.
And the question looms for Terry Miller, the official by the monitor. Taking a look, trying to see if it does come in contact. Always looking in volleyball. If the ball changes rotation, here you go. Oh,
that is very tough to tell.
And also you're looking at fingers. Do they bend back, and does the rotation of the ball start changing? And it looks tight there. Great work by our fabulous crew here in South Bend, Indiana, bring you some Friday night volleyball. Terry Miller's going to come away from the monitor. We'll get his official word, as no conclusive call just yet, and it will stay Notre Dame's serve.
I think that's an example of a call just being too close to overturn. Tough to tell from the angle that we had as to whether Monson's fingers did just graze the ball. And of course, when in doubt, referee has to stick with the decision on the court. And so Notre Dame will win that challenge and take a 9-3 lead.
Herman gets it sent to Lieber. Now Monson passes to Schrader, and it's quickly set down by Pagan. In on it. And it's Lieber getting in with it.
Taylor Pagan also involved in that play. First time she's been on the court today as Coach Cohen looks to try to mix it up a little bit and try to find something. With their team trailing 2-1 and 2-0 scoring run here, maybe sign of something to come. If you're Colorado State, you got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere, and using the challenge is almost like a pseudo timeout. Thackeray receives a serve. Sant goes out laying for him, can't get it back into playing territory, and for the Rams, starting to build some momentum right now. Jones floats one across the net. It goes right over. It's a free ball for Herman. She sets it across, and Notre Dame is able to take the opportunity. Sydney Palazzolo is able to work it.
Yeah, it's all started by a dig by Hattie Monson. Just exactly what you're looking for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Monson to Sant, and setter's choice between Palazzolo or Schrader or Bjork sometimes, or Gardy, or Trump. I mean, so many options, but when it starts with a great dig by Monson and a great set by either Schrader or, in that case, Sant, that's where Notre Dame's at their best, and they're showing it right there.
Lieber in motion. Notre Dame with Palazzolo off the tip. Picks up their 11th point here of this fourth set.
Yeah, just a little bit of unfortunate turn of events for the Rams as Jones gets her left hand on that one, not knowing she had a teammate behind her. Caused that one to go out of bounds, and Palazzolo will take the kill.
Lieber in motion, free ball over the net. Set down by Bjork. Bjork, for the second time today, finds another one on the top of the net and setting it down. Ellie Cohan wants to take a timeout for Network Extra. And that finishes off a home and home that was started yesterday with the Wildcats, and have Indiana in a home and home next weekend. First game of that series coming at you right back here on the ACC Network Extra on Friday of next week. In week's time, Schrader behind the back, gets it to Trump and finds the donut all between the Colorado State defense.
Yeah, for Notre Dame, you love to see the energy right now. They can sense it. And of course, with that game tomorrow against Northwestern, it'll be their third straight day with a game. So you want to get this game over with as soon as you can. If you're a Fighting Irish player, save as much of that energy as you can. Obviously, you need to be high energy. You need to use it right now to win this game right now. But the quicker you can get it done, the better that you'll be tomorrow. And after that home and home against Indiana, it's conference play, starting with a game against number 2 Stanford, who we just talked about a little while ago. So it doesn't get any easier from here for Notre Dame.
No, they get thrown right to the gauntlet quickly into conference play. And for them, trying to figure it all out here in non-con and creating these tight turnarounds like they have in this weekend, allow themselves to play with their backs up against the wall a little bit, feeling a little bit of the tire, feeling a little bit of fatigue. And how do they respond? As on a typical ACC weekend, you're playing on Friday, then you have a travel day on Saturday, and then you go and play on Sunday. Mark gets it across. In motion is Lieber, who flirts with the line to get the point.
Yeah, good execution from Colorado, taking advantage of that free ball over the net. And great work to get that just past the block of Palazzola from Lieber, right down the line, perfectly placed. And then she gets a block.
Gets a block there, and for this Colorado State team, gonna have to try and dig themselves out of the hole they are in right now, and it's with plays like that that they can do it. Dockery receives a serve, and Palazzolo can't get it across, and the whistle comes from Patricia Salvatore, who does not believe Colorado State made contact with it, which does not allow Schrader to make contact with it again, and now Notre Dame will call a timeout after starting to see Colorado State go on a 4-0 scoring run.
Yeah, after the timeout, Colorado State loses its first 2 points, but then rattles off 4 in a row to bring this set back to somewhat close. Notre Dame led by 4 at 2 different points in set 1. Obviously, Colorado State made that big comeback to win that set 25-23, so certainly this game far from over, especially with the way this Colorado State team is running right now with service.
For Colorado State, trying to build on what they have here. Build some momentum currently, and that's what they're looking to have happen over the next couple of weeks and setting themselves up for success.
I think the biggest difference that we've seen, Jake, as this game has gone on is the Irish have been playing significantly better defense. As we get a look at Colorado State's upcoming schedule, couple game home and home with Colorado, and then on the road for 2. So they have that 3-game road trip right there to end September before they host San Jose State back at home. As you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they played their first 6 games at home. Last night against DePaul was their first road game of the season. They came out victorious. Obviously, they're going to love to hear that, considering the amount of emphasis they're trying to put on improving as a road team this year. Hasn't been going as smooth for them here, but they've battled and they've put themselves in a position to be competitive in this 4th set. And if you go to a 5th set, Jake, you never know.
That is exactly right. You never know. Never know what can happen in a 5th set. You got to fight yourself there, though. Brown looking to get in on the action as she will get set here. York can't have the block go across the net. And it's a freshman for Colorado State making an impact.
Yeah, Bruin, is someone who was easily the best player on the court during that point. The serve caught Notre Dame a little bit off kilter, and then had a great dig to right perfectly into the hands of the setter and led to the kill for Colorado that gets them back in this game. They do lose that point, so Notre Dame restores its 4-point lead, and if nothing else, they've at least ended Bruin's service run.
Now Palazzolo will begin her service run. Great play by Monson and Lieber. Harmon trying to go for the direct set over. Trying to play some tomfoolery. That does not work out. Notre Dame keeps Palazzolo on the service line. Maroon gets it across, and Notre Dame defensively can't collect themselves to get it back over.
Maria Bruin, 26 in green, up to 6 kills. She's been pretty solid depth piece in this game, not getting nearly as many opportunities as Malaya Jones and Stanford Kennedy, but doing a lot with what she's been given.
Gardy comes in and gets back to the work that she's been putting in. Her 14th kill of the evening. One behind the leader, Palazzolo.
Also hitting at 500, an extremely high number. She's been very effective. She had 1 error in the 2nd set, and before then and since then, she's been flawless.
Gardy coming in was a number 5th ranked player by Volleyball Magazine. Slay Morocco got her to commit to Notre Dame, and feels pretty happy about that commitment and how she's had an instant impact for the team. Colorado State with Herman, their setter. Setting, Monson receives. Yoshimoto digs it out. Palazzolo from the back row. Yoshimoto with the pass, up to Jones. Jones taps it back. Colorado State can't get it across. Notre Dame rolling.
I don't know if Jones thought maybe she had another pass or maybe just couldn't reach that one, but either way, the Irish will take that and they'll take the point, and Trump will go serve.
Weathers from the middle. Notre Dame gets the point. Just too strong. The graduate student, it'll be a timeout here for Colorado State. Notre Dame 6 points away from capturing the match victory.
Yeah, and they've done it with better defense than we saw in the first set and the first half of the second set. They've made a little bit of an adjustment. Give credit to Coach Rockwell. They've put Fiona Schrader opposite Malaya Jones, and they've relied on Schrader to do most of the defense when Jones has been going for those cross-court kills. And on the other side of Jones has been the other side of Schrader has been Hattie Monson usually for when Kennedy Stafford winds up for one. So they've really taken away the number 1 and number 2 options for Colorado State, and it's caused them to, give credit to Schrader and Monson. You could put them there, and it doesn't work, but it has worked because of their ability to dig the ball off the floor, and we've seen it a couple times throughout the game, especially as it's gone along, of Jones winding up for a really high-velocity strike, and it's just defended well by Schrader, and then they'll try Stafford, and she hits it with a lot of pace too, but there's Monson, and the two of them, 19 in white and 8 in navy blue, that have been Notre Dame's most under-the-radar players in terms of their defense in the second set. And you can see it based on the number of digs.
See it on digs, 62 for Notre Dame, 25 for Colorado State. Notre Dame is being able to return their attack rather quickly and finding themselves the ability to create an offensive attack off of the Rams' attack.
And it's one thing to get a dig. It's another thing to get a dig to your setter. And that's something that Schrader and Monson have been doing, and turning offensive opportunities for Colorado State into even better offensive opportunities for Notre Dame, as opposed to kind of panic possessions. Controlled possessions have led to their success.
A block there. Notre Dame sets it down with the freshman duo of Gardy and Langer.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many blocks from the Irish in this game. They're being out-blocked by Colorado, but well done there, getting their hands over the net appropriately. Well-timed jump by both of them, perfectly in sync, and pick up the block and pick up the point.
Service error for Notre Dame. Gets the ball to return over to Colorado State. Notre Dame now with the pickup. 5 points away from closing out the victory. Notre Dame, if they were able to win this one, it would be 3 in a row. Going back to the Stark Vegas Classic, where they won a 5-set thriller against Mississippi State last Sunday. Beat Northwestern 3-1 yesterday. Now have come out looking to try and repeat the score here today. And Notre Dame puts themselves 4 points away from having that happen.
Yeah, tough bounce there for the Rams, as they kind of had backed off on the weak side, assuming that the kill attempt would go to the strong side, and it did, but it went off the side of the block and landed in that soft spot. A lot of court to cover for just 6 players. There always is going to be those soft areas, and Notre Dame has been doing a pretty good job so far of finding, whether it's the back left corner that Gardy has attacked a couple of times, or Schrader with the light tabs just over the block, just in front of the back line. Whatever Notre Dame has been doing, Coach Rockwell always talks about to us all the time, and surely her players too, about reading the block, not just winding up for the fastball every time, mixing the changeup, mixing the cross-court curveball, whatever you got to do, and Notre Dame has been doing that, and that's why they're 3 points away from a 4-set victory.
Jones, Monson's able to get there. Sant's able to get a forearm on it. Rejected at the net by Bjork. What a block by the freshman.
And that'll get the crowd on their feet. A solo block for Bjork. What a point. A dig from Monson, a dig from Sant, a solo block. Just so much to like if you're Notre Dame on that last point.
Well, let's go Irish chant starting to echo in the Compton Family Ice Arena. Bjork with another set down there. Colorado State pushes one out of bounds. Notre Dame stands at match point.
Just been wearing Colorado State down. Both these teams played yesterday, but Notre Dame, being at home, has that extra energy advantage. They're 1 point away.
And Notre Dame comes back after losing the first set to win the next three and win their home opener. Big play from